What's good, guys? My name is Lucas and you're watching Robot Fight Club. Today's video is an event recap for my Ferryweight robot Death Wish, which competed at the 2021 Michigan Mashup. Let's get into it.
3, 2, 1, it's RoboFun. Oh, right off the bat, Lucas is clearly going to the fence. Oh, the trickle. Oh, that's what he's damage right there. And Lucas throws a fit. It's all.
Okay, so I recently had the privilege of attending my very first combat robotics event in Michigan, and it was an awesome time despite, there was a super long drive to get there, about 7 hours, but I'm really glad I went. I learned a ton about, robotic combat in general, how my robots work, and all that, and it was just an awesome time. So before we get into this event recap, I did bring 3 robots there, and they're each going to have their own separate event recap video. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you go ahead and do that right now so you don't miss those next 2 videos. Those will be coming out fairly soon. Other than that, how I'm going to do this is I'll talk a little bit about the robot I'm facing, play the fight, and give my commentary. But if you don't want to hear my rambling, then go ahead, check out the description, and there's going to be some timestamps in there if you just want to skip ahead to the fights. Anyways, let's kick it off with my first fight of the event. Okay, so my first fight was against Enceladus. Enceladus. Well, yeah, no one there really knew how to pronounce it, so we all just called it enchilada. But anyways, it's a robot. It's an overhead bar spinner, horizontal spinner, and I felt pretty good about this fight because Death Wish has a super heavy vertical spinner, which should be able to counteract the horizontal spinners and hopefully tear them right off. But anyways, let's go ahead and see how that fight went.
Fight!
Oh, remember, when that gets down, come on.
Oh,
Oh crap.
coming away. He's still sort of moving. It's going to look a little less pretty after this, I think. Oh, no. Oh, he's losing his motor. They're still both semi-mobile. They're both still in it, sort of. That counts as good, right? No. Just jump right in. Hey.
That was great. Okay, so that was a pretty disappointing first fight. As you could see from that video, he tried to spin up his weapon too fast at the beginning of the fight, inverted, and he basically became an undercutter and was able to just go in and clip off my weapon uprights immediately, and I was dragging my weapon on the floor the whole time and ended up bouncing into the pit by myself, which was pretty disappointing. And I really don't know what I was thinking with those weapon uprights. They were nowhere near strong enough. But for the next fight, I did make sure to go ahead and reinforce those uprights with some metal so they did not break again the rest of the event. So learned a valuable lesson in that first fight, and that put me in the loser's bracket against Fat Freddy's cat, which is a 3D printed vertical spinner. Let's see how that went.
I think that was more of a break dancer than anything. Well, if they ever come into contact, there'll be some sparks. Now it's a horizontal spinner.
Well, so far I think it's a draw.
Oh no! Reverse the screws! Now you can move it, turn them back.
Door's down.
I don't think the door hit. Oh! One big hit.
There we go.
Okay, I think we can call this in favor of Deathwish.
Alright, so that fight was also kind of disappointing. Not because I didn't win, because I did win by knockout. A pretty big hit that tore out all of his electronics, which was pretty cool. But my driving during that fight was pretty bad. What I was doing was I was spinning up the weapon way too fast, and I was fighting gyroscopic forces the entire fight that, you know, were just too strong to control. So I really should have dialed back on that weapon, and I kind of started doing that at the end of the fight. But overall, just not very good performance from my driving, the driving aspect of it anyways. But I'll take the win and move on to round 2 of the losers bracket, where I faced Enceladus again. So I was pretty excited for the rematch. Let's see how that went.
Fight! Whoa, right into the spinner. And oh no! It tore out of the bottom. That's not good. Maybe he can get it back on his wheels or something. He's so excited. Come on, Lucas. Like, I'm here. You look so tasty. Do you want to tap out or do you want to take the hit? Oh, you missed. He's still sort of moving. Oh. Wait, are you just waiting for Lucas to blow himself up?
No, it's like 3 seconds.
Ooh, ouch. Hey, he fixed him. Now he's a wedge bot.
Door's going down.
Oh, he's losing a wheel.
I like that motor.
His wheel's getting hurt. Oh! Good hit. You got good. You got any movement, Enchilada?
Yeah, no, that would really want to hit that.
You're kind of.
2 minutes.
I think that's just death nerves. It's a death rattle. Oh, he's moving again. Okay.
30 seconds. I'm maxed out between the wedge and the arms.
Wait, what's one advice? I want to see the finish of the fight.
20 seconds.
20 seconds left. Oh! That is a savage big weapon.
I don't want to go over there. 10. Fortunately, very
Last 10 seconds? Oh.
left in my original.
Last 10 seconds.
My original
2,
configuration.
1, match end. Deactivate.
Once I get wrecked, I'm really fast.
Very nice guy.
Okay, so that was a lot more like it. I was super happy with that fight. I definitely was able to drive much better. As you could see in that fight, my driving was pretty good. I don't mean to, you know, pat myself on the back, but that was some excellent driving during that fight, and I was really able to control the whole fight, start to finish. I broke his weapon off on the first hit, and from then on, I was just hitting him the whole fight, which was pretty fun, and I really enjoyed the fight. I won by judge's decision, and that put me in another round forward in the losers bracket against a robot called the Puss, which is a kind of breaker box style 360-degree lifter robot. So let's see how that went.
Fight! Okay, yep, you're back. You don't need that wheel anyway. It sort of works. Not the tail. Oh no! You took off his ear. Oh! Oh no! That's not good. Oh! Oh, you gotta hold the blade a little bit. Oh, it's going down. Oh crap. No. How did you drop it out? There we go. You dropped the door out! Okay, can I have the door? It's actually needed to keep it from being dangerous.
You want it up, Garrett? Turn on and go
Run
up.
it up. You're good. Don't run it quite so far down. Oh no! Puss takes the victory! He just looks a lot worse for wear though. Nice one, good job.
That was not the best. I was doing pretty okay, delivering some damage. I was getting controlled pretty good though, but I was delivering damage and doing okay, but I really should have tried a lot harder to stay away from that pit, because as soon as I got over to it, I went into the pit and lost the match by KO. So that's the 2 losses that put me out of the tournament, and you know, that's too bad. I really think I could have done better, but I did definitely learn a lot about driving and the construction of the bot. That'll hopefully allow me to make a deeper run next time I fight this robot in competition. So, you know, that was it for the tournament for me, or for Death Wish anyways, for that robot. But however, later on in the day, there was some gaps between the final few fights of the ant weight bracket, so I decided to fight the fairy weight champion, which is a full body spinner called Bitcoin. Very well made, and I just was like, alright, let's throw it in and see what happens. So this is not a tournament match, this is more like a grudge match, so not an official match, but I decided let's throw this in and we'll see how that fight against Bitcoin went.
Alright, so fairy weight grudge match! 2 of the biggest hitters in the competition! Well, for the little ones. Blue team, Death Wish, are you ready?
Yeah.
Bitcoin, the champion, are you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, let's fight! I had more coffee, so I'm gonna
Such interesting designs for the whole release.
I know, they're so different. Whoa.
Uh-oh. Minute 40.
It's time for the bots to battle.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Something bad happened.
Come on.
Took off a peg.
Uh-oh.
Breakdancing, it's breakdancing.
Can't touch it.
Oh, look, you're in the corner, go, Luker.
No.
That Bitcoin is nasty. It really
It's a
is.
nasty thing.
60 seconds.
Soak right.
Aside from it destroying its own drive, you know, it hasn't been knocked out. Woohoo!
Uh-oh. Oh, she's still going.
Uh-oh. What was that, Luke?
Something broke.
40 seconds. Come on. 30 seconds.
Oh no! Tap out, tap out! Everything that's juicy is exposed.
Wow.
Well, I can definitely see why Bitcoin was the champion. That is a very, very well built robot, very low to the ground, just super well designed, and I couldn't get anything going that whole fight. I just wasn't able to hit him at all. He was too low to the ground, and I think what I needed to do was spin up my weapon faster in order to get a better bite, because his shell is spinning as well, but I couldn't really do that without causing an undrivable amount of gyroscopic force, so I was kind of stuck with what happened there, and it was kind of disappointing, but at the same time it was a super awesome fight, and like you could see there at the end, all the guts just torn out of my robot, and I ended up tapping out there because I didn't want to get my electronics destroyed, and I was pretty much already out at that point. Surprisingly though, no electronics on that robot were damaged at all, except maybe the motor might have some damage to it. The can on the motor is a little bit loose, but I'm not sure. I mean, it still works, so I'm probably just going to still use it, but it was damaged a little bit. But other than that, no components of like electrical components were damaged. So that was a fun fight, and I definitely did learn a lot from that fight by just getting beat up. So I'm going to try to make some structural improvements to prevent that from happening again. Alright, so that's it for the event recap today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure you subscribe, like the video, and be sure to be on the lookout for those next 2 event recap videos. Anyways, that does it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time on Robot Fight Club.